Hello, dear Dharma friends. How extraordinary we get to meet in our electronic Dharma hall over vast distances. I begin this morning with a prayer to meet challenging times by Roshi Joan Halifax. I met Joan Halifax under very unusual circumstances. I was on an expedition to Tibet to hike around Mount Kailash, the sacred mountain in western Tibet. And I had altitude induced sleep apnea, and my uh, then partner was getting true altitude sickness. And I was hiking in the fog at about 17,000 feet and very worried about my partner, Nancy. And a person appeared, and I had heard that she was on the mountain. She was on another expedition. And she walked up and we spoke, and I said, I'll bet you're Joan Halifax. And they had a doctor on their expedition, and they had a gamo bag, which is something you use. You put someone in it and you blow it up, and then you increase the air pressure, and you basically lower them. We didn't need to use it. Actually, my partner and I, we turned around and went back. We did not succeed on the Kora, going all the way around the mountain, which was just fine. But I then encountered Joan at 3 or 4 teachers' conferences, and she's a very incredible human being. And I delight in having met her under those circumstances. So, this is a prayer to meet challenging times, which we certainly are in, aren't we? It's a combination of a couple of things. May I be an instrument of peace. Where there is hate, may I sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. May I be a safeguard for those who have no protection, a guide for those who journey along the way, for those who wish to go across the water. May I be a boat, a raft, a bridge. May I be a home port for those who yearn for landfall, and a lamp for those who long for light. And those who are tired, may we be a resting place for all who need help, their servant. May I be generous and helpful. May I cultivate integrity. May I be patient and see clearly the suffering of others. May I be energetic, steadfast, and wholehearted. May I cultivate concentration and be grounded so I can skillfully serve all beings. May I nurture wisdom and impart the benefit of insight to others. May I not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to understand, to be understood as to understand, and to be loved as to love. Let the great earth herself, enduring as the sky endures, for the boundless multitude of living beings. May we be the ground and vessel of all that lives. May every single thing that lives in number to the boundless reaches of the sky. May we be sustenance and nourishment until they pass beyond the bounds of understanding. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in dying that we are born to eternal life. May we affirm our intention to serve others through our love and compassion and our commitment to actualize respect and integrity in all things that we do. Roshi Joan Halifax. And I wish to add to that the teaching from Atum Kane, which came to him in Shantideva's cave in Bhutan. Deeply rooted in this living present moment. Let these be more than words. Let these be a song of praise or a commitment or a moment of inspiration, deeply rooted in this living present moment, here now. This moment is exactly as it is. Deeply rooted in this living present moment, seeing, perceiving with a clear, open, spacious awareness. Perceiving with a clear, open, spacious awareness. Beyond fear and doubt. Beyond fear and doubt. Abiding in luminous equanimity. The path opens before us. Deeply rooted in this living present moment. Deeply rooted. Some mornings now, as I come out to my little shed, I stop and hug. I embrace the Douglas fir tree, which is a little older than me. Its bark is deep. And I imagine or I sense its roots as my roots. I am deeply rooted in this life, as are you. Ever since the moment of your first birth, awareness has been breaking forth, deeply rooted in this living present moment. Perceiving with a clear, open, spacious awareness. Beyond fear and doubt. If we let go of the concepts, which can say, that's too big a task, or someday maybe I'll get there. Please notice that every time your awareness, the awareness, is here in the present moment, you are beyond fear and doubt. Because they cease to exist. Perceiving with a clear, open, spacious, clear, open, spacious awareness. Beyond fear and doubt. abiding in luminous equanimity. Equanimity is another synonym for love, because in love there is room for everything. So we'll sit quietly now for a while. And we could use the breath to come home to, very gently, no violence. Inner violence doesn't work any better than outer violence. And finally, please let us not make an enemy of anything. Let us not make an enemy of the wandering mind. And let us be as intimate as grace will allow with the breath and the body sitting here. from the moment of birth until our final exhalation. The breath is the metronome of our life. And every breath is a manifestation of our interbeing with all of life. We breathe the oxygen molecules that the dinosaurs breathed. The oxygen goes to every cell in the body where it is essential for the metabolism of sugars, glucose. We don't need to think about this, but in the religion of my childhood, Catholicism, there's a very complex ritual around taking communion. I never understood it until I met Father Bernard of the local Trappist monastery. He said that I had to forgive my childhood priest because he had a grade 2 spiritual education. And he said that the entire Mass, in which there is no room for personal flourish on the part of the priest, is a ritual so that when that little piece of bread is put on the tongue, one has the possibility of having a transpersonal experience and becoming one with the Mass. And the same is true with every breath. We participate in communion, in being in union with all of life. And so let's not take the breath for granted. Let us take it as a sacred ritual. It is the essence of life. And as the Buddha taught, let us be present at the birth of the breath, the rising to fullness, the decline and the vanishing. And let us receive each thought with the same reverence. Human consciousness is the way consciousness itself embraces itself. You are not just a meaningless dust mote on a small planet somewhere on the outer edges of a galaxy. You are a being of utmost importance. coming home to now. Most people don't have the faintest idea that their mind wanders. They believe they are the mind, which means they believe all of the conditioning that comes their way. Once one begins mindfulness practice, this delusion begins to wear away. Awareness can't help but wake up, and it gets clearer and clearer. Now, as a form of love practice, different from insight meditation, in insight meditation, no content is of any importance at all. It's just that everything's changing. It is impersonal. But many of us, or all of us, have been conditioned in many unskillful, unhelpful, even violent ways. So I'm going to say these following thoughts, and I invite you to just let them pass through and notice the impact. Life is the sacred canvas upon which awakening paints itself. Each and every breath is an invitation to celebrate existence. The world is our monastery, and beauty is our teacher. Awakening blossoms through engagement, not escape. Joy is not a distraction from the path. It is the path. Love is the highest form of mindfulness. Connection with others deepens our connection with truth. Intimacy is a doorway to understand interdependence. And please now let us take a few moments to silently intone inwardly the great love mantra, I love you, with your name at the end. I love you with your name at the end. May all beings everywhere share in the merits of our practice. May we realize in this sharing of merits that there is no difference between ourself and all beings. Somehow I always think of the great gray whales headed north today. They had their babies in the summer down in Baja. Or I guess they're there now, really. Having their babies. All over the world, the cycle of life is unfolding in countless ways. May all beings everywhere remember their true great nature.